Today on Public Eye News, Haley Stevens joins the race for Michigan Senate. But first, we'll have everything you need to know on Northern Michigan University's search for a new president.
Later on, I will have your weather forecast where we'll look into conditions for the next couple days. Later, I will also bring you today's sports breakdown. I'm Dylan Dubé.
And I'm Toby Camilli, and this is Public Eye News. Northern Michigan University is partnering with Parker Executive Search to find its next president following Brock Tessman's upcoming departure to Montana State University. Parker is an Atlanta-based firm with over 30 years of experience, and its work led to Tessman's appointment in 2022. They have done more than 500 successful higher education searches for administration positions. Board Chair Steve Young praised the firm's familiarity with NMU, saying it will help speed up the process of finding NMU a new leader. An interim president and an advisory committee will soon be announced, with the goal of appointing a new president by fall. A report on infrastructure in Michigan schools was presented to the State Board of Education, recommending $23 billion to be spent on making improvements. In the report, some schools were found to be more cost-effective to replace. This includes 4 schools in the Upper Peninsula. While it was not clarified which school building in each district the map was referring to, it pointed out the school districts of Detour Area Schools, Copper Country ISD, and Republic Michigami Area Schools. These 4 school buildings were suggested to be rebuilt out of the 109 total buildings assessed in the Upper Peninsula.
Today is Earth Day. NMU's Earth Week events continue today with a geography-themed trivia night. The 111th Anderton Earth Week kicked off some community events earlier today with a bird-watching hike, as well as the Toolkit Tuesday Gardening Seminar. Tonight, beginning at 6 p.m., Geography Trivia will be hosted in Jamrish Hall as participants are invited to put their Mother Nature knowledge to the test and possibly learn a thing or two about the planet we live on. Other gatherings that will take place tonight includes the Networking Happy Hour at 5 p.m., as well as the Seed Starting Seminar, which will also proceed at 5. And the Michigan Department of Natural Resources Western Upper Peninsula Citizens Advisory Council will meet Thursday, May 1st from 6 to 8:30 p.m. at the Island Convention Center in Harris. The meeting will feature a presentation on the DNR's drone program, results from a recent UP Deer Camp survey, and discussion of wildlife and fishery recommendations. Additional topics include division reports, old business, and subcommittee updates. The public is welcome to attend, and more details are available by contacting Christy Dahlstrom at dahlstromk@michigan.gov or 906-226-1331. And the Village of Laurium has reached its Phase 1 fundraising goal to replace the ice condenser system at the George Gipp Ice Arena, with work set to begin this fall. The Laurium Village Council approved the project bid last week, marking a major step in preserving local ice sports. Over the past 6 months, the village has worked diligently to ensure skating, hockey, and recreational programs remain strong in the Copper Country. Village officials thank supporters including the Copper Shores Foundation, Calumet Hockey Association, and community donors. A dedication ceremony for the Allen Iote Warning Arena will be held at the arena on August 2nd at 12 p.m. And from the White House, there are new reports that Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth shared military attack details with more than just one group chat. But the response from the administration is the same. The president trusts his Pentagon chief. Natalie Brand is in Washington with the story. Take a look.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth appeared on his former network to once again defend his actions.
I look at war plans every single day. What was shared over Signal, then and now, however you characterize it, was informal, unclassified coordinations for media coordination and other things. That's what I've said from the beginning.
Sources say he shared details about military airstrikes targeting Houthis in a private Signal chat group that included his wife, brother, and personal attorney. It comes amid a shakeup at the Pentagon. Hegseth accuses 3 former aides of leaking information to the media. The fired officials say the attacks against them are baseless, writing they still have not been told what exactly we were investigated for.
Those folks who were leaking, who have been pushed out of the building, are now attempting to leak and sabotage the president's agenda and what we're doing.
President Trump says he's happy with Hegseth.
He's doing a great job. It's just fake news. They just bring up stories. I guess it sounds like disgruntled employees.
But the president is not happy with Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell, calling him a, quote, major loser for not lowering interest rates. Stocks fell sharply Monday, losing about 2.5%.
When we look at these two events, the president making these comments, saying he could fire the Fed, and then also listening to the Fed chair saying, I'm going to push back against this, we have a real crisis of confidence.
The Dow is on track for its worst April since 1932 during the Great Depression. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
Now let's head over to Dylan with your weather report.
Welcome to your weather forecast. Let's start things off with a look at the roof cam. We can see that the skies are a little bit cloudy, but that sun's starting to peek out a little bit more as the work on the library continues to progress. Taking a look at the conditions across the UP, it's going to be 50 degrees and partially sunny in Houghton. It's going to be 50 degrees and cloudy in Ironwood, 55 and cloudy in Iron Mountain, and at the south tip of the UP, it's going to be 48 and cloudy in Menominee. Taking a look at the eastern side of the UP, it's going to be sunny and 51 degrees in Escanaba, sunny and 48 in Manistee, sunny and 44 in the Sioux, and in our lovely Marquette, it's going to be 45 and partially sunny. And our winds are going to be coming from the east-northeast at 8 miles per hour, and we're going to have a barometric pressure of 30.8 inches and falling. Taking a look at tonight, conditions are going to be partly cloudy. We're going to have a low of 37 degrees. The winds are going to be coming from southeast at 8 miles per hour, and our moon phase is going to be a waning crescent. Tomorrow, we're going to have a little bit of rain as those showers start to come down. We're going to have a high of 62 degrees and a low of 39. And our winds are going to be coming from the north-northeast at 8 miles per hour. Looking ahead at the latter half of the week, on Thursday, it's going to be a high of 48 and a low of 37. That sun's going to start to peek out as we get some partially cloudy conditions. Friday, it's going to be a high of 43 and a low of 36 as those clouds start to roll back in with a little bit of rain coming down. And on Saturday, we're going to have a high of 50 and a low of 37 as that sun starts to bloom. That's all I've got for weather. Back to Toby at the desk.
Thank you for that weather update, Dylan. Looking forward to some warmer temperatures. Now, after this short break, I'll be right back with your statewide news.
Graduates of Northern Michigan University, we are so proud of you for this major accomplishment. Congratulations, you did it!
Watch NMU's 2025 Spring Commencement here on WNMU TV, Saturday, May 3rd at 10:30 a.m.
Welcome back. Moving into your statewide news. Michigan Congresswoman Haley Stevens is officially joining the race for U.S. Senate. The fourth-term Democrat launched her campaign with a video focusing on the economic crisis caused by President Donald Trump's tariff policies, which she says threatens tens of thousands of Michigan jobs. Stevens is seen as a top contender for the job after Senator Gary Peters announced that he would not seek re-election. She's joining Democratic names running for the seat, including State Senator Mallory McMorrow and former health official Abdul El-Sayed. On the Republican side, former Congressman Mike Rogers is making another run after a very close loss in 2024. And Governor Gretchen Whitmer is asking FEMA for more time to request a major disaster declaration after the historic ice storm that devastated areas in northern Michigan. The storm knocked out power, blocked roads with fallen trees, and even left some areas inaccessible for weeks. Whitmer says that the extension is crucial so the local officials can finish their response efforts and fully assess the damage. Lawmakers from both parties support this move. Preliminary damage assessments are set to begin this week and could lead to federal aid for both residents and local governments. The state hopes the extension will lead to a stronger case for federal assistance. And there's a big shift for teachers in Michigan this year. $12.5 million will be used to recruit and train new teachers. WSBT 22's Kylan Hall explains the Educator Workforce Initiative. Take a look.
Michigan's Educator Workforce Initiative borrows training models from Arizona State University. The goal is to find and train teachers for 5 districts in the state, 3 of which are in southeast Michigan.
So we have 5 districts that are looking at teacher retention, and they have doubled their rate of retention from what they experienced the couple years prior to initiating the program with Arizona State University. Because of that success, we have 12 more districts that are like, hey, we want a piece of that action, so to speak.
The training program out of Arizona is just one tool in this larger project. The money also goes to supporting the Center for Black Education, which provides high school CTE courses year-round for Black students interested in teaching.
And that's where the numbers really are popping, is that through this involvement, we're attracting really 4 to 5 times the number of individuals of color and males for that example. I mean, this is a female-dominated profession well into the upper 80%.
Barry and Risa says in their first year, they've been able to double the number of students that stick with the teaching degree after their first year of college.
Because one of the things that historically, for every 4 that start as freshmen in education, we're only getting about a third of those that are finishing with a 4-year degree.
Kylan Hall, WSBT 22 News.
Now let's move things over to Dylan with your Public Eye Sports Report.
Thanks, Toby. It's me again. And kicking things off, we have the NMU women's soccer team who have released their new 2025 schedule. The Wildcats will be taking on 21 matches, with 13 of them home games and 8 on the road. Under their new head coach, Aaron Egolf, the Green and Gold will open up the season with 3 exhibition games beginning August 22nd against UW Stevens Point. The Cats will then follow up some friendlies with a 4-game non-conference home stretch beginning September 5th. They will then launch themselves into a 14-match GLIAC schedule featuring key home matchups against Grand Valley, Saginaw Valley, and the Michigan Tech Huskies. The regular season will be wrapped up come November 6th with a matchup against Purdue Northwest in Hammond, Indiana. And taking the game from turf to court, Michigan Tech midfielder Kirsten Koronek has been named the U.S. Women's Futsal National Team for the upcoming 2025 CONCACAF Women's Futsal Championship in Guatemala. Koronek, a standout Husky and Granville, Michigan native, earned her spot after a strong showing at the final training camp earlier this month in Georgia. Koronek, coming off a strong 2024 college season with 4 goals and 2 game winners, joins the 14-player roster as a pivot, an attacking role, marking her debut in senior international futsal competition. The championship will be held April 28th through May 4th in Guatemala City and marks the U.S. team's first official tournament since its formation. And transitioning to the Diamond, the 0-3 Sault Ste. Marie softball team came into town to play the 6-2 Sentinels in a doubleheader today, with the first game at 4:30 and second game at 6:30. Superior Central is also on deck for the Sentinels with a rescheduled doubleheader tomorrow starting at 4:30. All MSHS home softball games are at Alliance Field in Marquette, and the team suggests downloading the Game Changer app and following the team at Marquette Sentinels varsity. On the men's side, the Sentinels baseball team will host the Kingsford Flivers in a single in-conference game here in Marquette. The Sentinels are hot off a 10-3 win last Thursday against Menominee, opening up conference play. The game started at 4 p.m. at Marquette Senior High School. That's all I have for sports, and we'll be back after this short break.
1, 2, 3.
A change is happening.
Let the groove take over.
Which is perfect.
The age of discovery is now.
When you hear it, you know what it is.
I am quite overwhelmed.
It's a joy to be in this world.
Welcome back to Public Eye News. Time for one more story. Iron Bay in downtown Marquette is hosting an Earth Day themed trivia night. This quiz competition is in partnership with the Marquette County Conservation District. The event is tomorrow night at 7 p.m.
Yeah, how about that trivia night, Toby? That seems pretty interesting.
Sounds very cool. I think that supporting Earth Day is very noble.
Would you be interested in doing it all?
For sure. Well, that's all the time we have at Public Eye News. I'm Toby Camilli.
And I'm Dylan Dubé.
And we'll see you next time.
The preceding program was produced by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television, in studios located in Elizabeth and Edgar Hardin Hall.